get into the paper review now to see what the headlines are across Nigeria. And I have with me some of my regulars to help make sense of the headlines here. I have Jide Ologun. He's here with us in the studio. Jide, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Mike.
Great. And I have Tunji Abdulhamid as well. Tunji, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Great. All right, let's start with Business Day. Business Day newspaper says, to lead Nigeria just got tougher as economy crawls back to 2010 levels. To lead Nigeria just got tougher. Okay. You look at all the economic indices, you will understand. National economy is next, and it says Nigeria risks future loss in skilled manpower as students kidnap spikes. Nigeria risks future loss in skilled manpower as students kidnap spike. All right, from there, let's go to the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says Northern Elders Forum, CNG, Yabagi to Southern governors, North can't be gagged on 2023 presidency. And influence your parties on zoning. Northern Elders are saying this, and these are all fallouts from the Southern governors meeting and resolutions. Governors, Northern collaborators will fail. Action divisive. Coalition and Yabagi are saying this. We will lobby Northern stakeholders, Diri assures. Southern reps back governors and start negotiation for Igbo presidency. Ohaneze tells Amechi, Obi, Umahi, as well as others. Okay, all that on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Leadership is next. Leadership says rotational presidency unconstitutional. Northern leaders tell Southern governors. Say will resist attempt to bar Northern aspirants. Accuse Zulum, Ganduje El Rufai, Shetima of selling out and fault governors on September 1 takeoff of grazing ban. All that on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Let's go to First News. First News says how government can stop bandits from kidnapping students. Sheikh Gumi is featured here on an exclusive interview. We're still holding 121 of your students. Bandits contact tell Kaduna school authorities. It's really devastating that more students are even being kidnapped. All right, from there, let's go to News Direct. News Direct says on PIB, Northeast governors demand 30% profit share for exploration as Northern elders knock Southern governors. Okay, from there, let's go to the Daily Trust. Daily Trust says Northern elders, Afenifere back reps quest to create state police. Bill passes second reading. You are lagging behind, Northern group tells governors. It will drag us back to colonial era. Tanko Yakase is saying this. Amotekun, Ibubiagu, crude forms of state police. Kweremadu is saying this. Okay, we'll certainly have time for all that as we get along. The Punch newspaper is next. Excuse me. The Punch newspaper says, bandits hold 348 students. UNESCO sounds warning as ACF lampoons the federal government. Parents may no longer prioritize education of children. UNESCO warns federal government. We are at the mercy of federal government, says governor's aide, as 83 FGC students held. Kaduna Baptist School invaders confirm 121 victims, demand rice, others to feed students. It's really troubling. From there, let's go to the Nation newspaper. Notes elders, groups reject South's 2023 zoning demand. Groups kick against ban on open grazing. And South's reps back governors. Okay, still on the political side and all the other social things that come with it. That's the Nation newspaper. From there, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. Electoral law, PIB, Northern governors, or Northern groups rather, battle Southern governors on electoral law and the PIB. Southern reps back governors on power shift, PIB, e-transmission of poll results and others. An ex-ACF scribe faults Southern governors. It has so many multiple riders there. All right, that's the Vanguard newspaper. We'll certainly have time for this as we get along, as we have two lawyers in the studio to help us make sense of all of this. Now, Nigerian Tribune is next, and it says constitutional review Southwest governors meet senators and reps. Okay, fiscal decentralization, state police top agenda. Autumn, Southern reps back governors on South for 2023 presidency. Northern elders say no. Okay, still on this political issues. This Day newspaper is next, and it says Southern presidency gathers momentum as Autumn Middle Belt endorses the demand. Lawmakers from South back governors. ACF, the Area Consultative Forum, we can't dictate to parties. Northern elders rebuff the zoning. Okay, that's This Day newspaper. Then the last one we're looking at now is Daily Sun. Daily Sun says reps okay bill for state police. Autumn Southern reps back regions governors on power shift. PIB Electoral Act. Senate constitutes 7-man conference committee on the PIB. All right. Let's before we get into let's start from this story here on the Daily Sun. Reps okay bill for state police. This state police has been a long debate. For so many years we've been talking about the state police. Jide, let me start with you on this. This state police issue, some analysts say, well, some leaders or some stakeholders are not comfortable with it, maybe because of fear of whatever that nobody knows about. But why do you think this has become a big deal over the years?
Because the federal police that should take responsibility for internal security appears to be overwhelmed by insecurity, and that has prompted the enhanced call for state police. And let's look at some incidents. Look at the attack on Igboho, for instance. If we were to be operating the state police system, you cannot just come from California and go and hit in Maryland. All right, there has to be procedural engagement, even though that is even still requested here. But with the level of insecurity, some states are helpless. Because when you have commissioners of police in states, they are not answerable to the governor. You may only collaborate with them, like Lagos State is doing commendably, by financing and equipping. But the commissioner of police is responsible and takes instruction from the Inspector General of Police, who himself takes instruction from the president. And when you look at the level of insecurity in this country now, it's beyond what you can handle from the macro level. You need to come to the micro level. If you look at the way the bandits, kidnappers are operating, they operate in the hinterland, once in a while come to the metropolitan area. So you expect that local policing should be encouraged. You take a place like Columbia in the US, for example, you even have the county security setup, Howard County and stuff like that. And again, we have a perception now in the country, when you look at the public relations angle, that it's as if the central government is not as keen as dealing with the insecurity in the land, and that the security architecture may be engaged for sectional benefits. And I will also back that up with some incidences recently. For example, it's so easy now to get Nnamdi Kanu rearrested. It's easy to invade Igboho's house. But there is a prominent cleric that has been holding meetings with bandits, telling the world that the government knows where they are, brandishing their weapons, taking photographs with them, and it says the police cannot go after them. So we have come to a point in the country when governors who want to remain relevant must begin to find a way of securing lives and properties within their states.
All right.
And when you devolve that power, leave them to build the architecture. And because security and the welfare of the people remain the primary purpose of government.
All right. Now, Tunji, from this headline and the moves in the National Assembly, do you see the dawning of what Nigerians have been yearning for all the while when it comes to the issue of state police?
Yeah, if truly those at the National Assembly are there for the people, I should see the batting of the state police, because it's overdue, just like you said. It's long overdue. When we run a constitution whereby we said the governors are the chief security of their state. You are the chief security of the state, but you don't have the control of those instruments you have to use as chief security. What I mean by instrument, the police authority, the military or other area, you don't have that control over them. You need to seek permission from somebody. You need to also relate with that person, and you need to be in good book of that person for you to be able to get what you are looking for.
But I wonder what the security votes they collect, in which account is not
that's another topic for another day. Because that security vote is not even known to our constitution. It's just one of the illegality that we found ourselves that have legalized in this country. You know, we like to legalize illegality and the name of
so do state governors have the moral justification to make those kind of demands when provision is made in that regard, which they don't give account?
No, the fight against insurgency or criminal or whatever is not with money. You can't buy police. You can't buy police if you don't have the authority to get it. No, so what they are saying now is that, look, whether we like it or not, all states are already having their own state police. What they don't have is constitutional backing, and that's what this bill will give. It will give constitutional backing. So the issue of constitutionality of you having a police in your having a security apparatus in your state being rivalry with the police or whatever will not be there again. In other words, you have the state having the power to prepare their security the way they want and to direct them the way they like. So you see, it's appalling for you to say I'm the chief security officer of a place, or I'm this and I cannot arrest anybody, or I must seek authority from somebody outside my profile before I can get. God forbid that I'm not in a good time with that person, or God forbid that person wants to use it as to bring me down. It will just ignore me, and then I'll suffer the consequences. Happen. So it's overdue. And where we are today, the central police has shown that, look, they don't have the capacity to deal with the situation on ground. So it is now for us to allow each state to control its own security apparatus, so that we will see what they can do about. And some people make an argument of they will misuse it. Is the central not misusing it? It's an invasion of a boss house. Is it legal? Is it in line with the law? Is that the process?
All right. Well, that is left for interpretation, because there are issues of, from the arguments, there are issues of national security when there are allegations of... That
have been settled for long.
Yes.
National security, it must be in line with the law.
With the rule of law.
National security is also part of the law.
Exactly. I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's subject to that interpretation.
National security is a product of respect for the rule
of law. All right. That's fine. Okay, let's get into this other issue here on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. You also find it on Daily Trust and also on the Nation newspaper, talking about 2023. The argument. This is not the first time. Well, in fact, 2 years usually, or more than a year into the next election, there's always, the back and forth of where the presidency should go and where it shouldn't go, whether we should allow it or we shouldn't allow it, and so on. Rotational presidency. The southern governors met and they're saying 2023 should be, it should be the southern part of Nigeria that should produce the president. And I wonder why this should be a big deal, Jide.
It's a big deal because there is no reflection of justice, fairness, and equity in the country. And the Commonwealth is not for the common good. And these are the concerns of governance. And to lay a foundation, rotational presidency is not constitutional. It's just a function of political convenience. And has it benefited Nigeria? I doubt it. Because right now, one of the challenges we have in the nation, particularly talking about insecurity, is a product of rotational presidency. You notice, for example, when the former president was there, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, that his people rose up and began to demand some things from the government, militants, that led to the amnesty. Now we have a northern president. The insurgency also sprang up there. And so maybe when it comes to another region, we say, okay, what do we use this power to demand? Rather than going back to a nationalistic approach to the engagement of resources. I mean, right now, you can see the petroleum industry bill that is coming out. We are arguing whether it should be 3%, that should go to host community, or 5%, 30% to go to the basins for exploration, for oils they have not even found, and things like that. So, and we have left enormous resources without enjoying them because we are battling. So we need to get our political direction right. I mean, you for example, the Donald Trump that just left the White House in the US is from New York. I doubt if New Yorkers benefited anything extraordinary because a New Yorker was there. Yeah. Right now, Joe Biden became the president of the US not because he is from Delaware or some, you know. So we need to come to that level where we have a United States of Nigeria, and we evaluate the resources we have. We engage them in a way that will deliver prosperity to the people. If not, we can keep on rotating. And right now, the division in the country is further exposed. The southern governors are saying, okay, 2023 presidency must come to the south. Northern governors are saying you cannot gag also. So where is the synergy that will bring us together to develop this country? And Amos chapter 3 verse 3, Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they be agreed? So right now we have a divided leadership. So where is the slot of the people? And democracy remains the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And by the way, to anchor this eventually, I want to warn the governors and the politicians that what is in Nigeria now is not even about 2023 presidency. And by perception, it may show that you don't even care about the people. Right now, the food inflation is over 22%. Right now, dollar is about 500 naira to $1. Right now, about, you know, it's different kinds of crises that we have in the land. And we are talking about presidency. And except we decide to establish the culture of good governance, the rotational presidency will not deliver dividends. Okay.
Well, Tunji, I'm coming to you now, like GD has said. Wherever the president comes from, the people there are not necessarily well off or different. Like I was saying earlier with my other guests, and I always say, Ogun State has produced president. Then the indigenes of Ogun States are not necessarily better off because a president came from there. Bayelsa, the same thing. Anambra State, the same thing. When Nnamdi Azikiwe comes from. Tafawa Balewa from Bauchi State. You know, Katsina has produced two presidents. You know, Yaradua and the incumbent president. Katsina indigenes are not necessarily well off because they've produced president. Kano, the same. You know, Niger State, the same thing. Two heads of state from Niger State. Indigenes from Niger State are not necessarily well off because, oh, we've had two heads of state from here. So why is this back and forth here and there? Somebody will say when it is time for the politicians to get, you know, look for what they want, the conflict of who gets what, where and how, and when and how, it is the politicians just doing their thing, not to the people, not for the people.
In fact, I share your sentiment. That's my position. You see, the debate on the rotational presidency, or it will go to south or net, well, it's unnecessary. And it's unnecessary. It's just an attempt by the political class to divert our attention and play their own card, or give their own leadway as to where they want to go, so that we'll be able to carry people along. My only worry regarding this debate is that people who are supposed to know more are also joining them in saying, yes, it's right, we need it. Just like you said, for two reasons why I say it's unnecessary. One, there's no constitutional backing for it. There's no law that says certain people should decide, or it must be noted. It is a political issue. In other words, it should not be an issue to be debated. That's what I'm saying. That is not an issue for the government to even say we are issuing a communique. We have those at that meeting. We have about 17 governors, or there are about 3 parties or 2 parties there. Are you saying those 3 parties will be the one to determine who become the president? And when I say determine, are they the one that is it their vote, the 17 people's vote, that will give us the president? let's assume that, look, let's even assume that they agree, or we agree that, look, okay, it's going to. Let me ask this question. If, for instance, the PDP decide to feed a southern presidential candidate, and the APC decide to nominate what's it called, the northern presidential candidate, will the governors from the APC support the PDP candidate and say, look, since it's from the north, from the south, so they're just deceiving us, and I will not be deceived. It's just a political game. They are just trying to play a card and see whether or not it will fly and carry people along, and the people who are not who did not look at it very critically to see, look, this is not my interest. Just like you said, if a presidency comes to South, what is the benefit of the people? Is it going to benefit the people? Has it been benefiting people? Jonathan was the president for how many years? How better is Bayelsa today? How better is the Niger Delta today, where it comes, those areas where it comes from? The Obasanjo, like you said, the Baba OBJ, was the president for how many years? He was even the head of state before he became a civilian president. How well has Southwest benefited from it? Just like you said. So I see it as an unnecessary debate. We just, who becomes the president is a matter of party affair and people. Okay. People will vote and determine who they want to support, not anybody telling us this is it must go to some other place. All right, we'll have to leave it here now. I really wish we had time to talk about the electoral law and the PIB, but we don't have all the time right now. Thank you very much, Tunji Abdulhamid, for coming on the program. Thank you very much, Jide Ologun. Thank you very much for coming. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. That's a great prayer and wish every time.